Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Lauren Williamson. Last week on Flag Day, Cape Cinema played host to Voices of Veterans, a panel discussion focused on the challenges that veterans face as they reintegrate into civilian life. The discussion aimed to raise awareness and understanding of the difficulties veterans experience when navigating work, family, and everyday life outside of the military. Many veterans deal with physical, emotional, and especially mental impacts related to their time in the service, and they possess unique perspectives shaped by military culture, camaraderie, and self-sacrifice. It's these perspectives that can make navigating the civilian world a daunting task for any veteran, but especially those who need help the most. Take a look.
O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Detail, towards arms. Hey. Outward arms.
Kim Rodriguez wanted to create an event to give veterans an opportunity to speak to the community about the visible and invisible challenges when veterans transition from military to civilian life. Many of our veterans have experienced physical, emotional, and mental impact of combat, and all have experienced the unique military culture of service, chain of command hierarchy, self-expectations of strength and control, a strong sense of rules and regulations, never leave a brother behind, and self-sacrifice. You're going to hear a lot about the people and organizations that have developed programs and tools to serve our veterans who have given their all to preserve our freedom and our way of life.
When I came home, I had a very difficult transition, as pretty much most of us have had. I survived a suicide attempt when I first got back into garrison. Still hadn't found my way yet. And when I made it back home here to Massachusetts, somewhere along the way, I had made a decision that even though I had survived it, I must attempt it again.
Served in the Marine Corps in special operations. Did 5 combat tours there. Got out, went to the government clandestine services, completed 10 more deployments there, war zone deployments. So kind of during all that time, you see things, you do things that that the average person, well, not even average, any human would struggle with.
We needed to start a new way to address the dog and veteran issue. And so we came up with Sierra Delta, stands for service and dogs. What we do is provide service opportunities, because what have you heard up here so far? We all miss serving, right? We all still got something left to give. So we partner with Habitat for Humanity, Street Dog Coalition. We're providing working parties to the national cemeteries because people aren't volunteering to come out and wash those headstones. And we don't have a cleaning service for our national cemeteries. So we're taking the mantle, no big deal. We also focus on dogs, all dogs, not just the service dogs that you see up here. Dogs like my Loki back home. He was abused for the first year of his life and was 40 pounds underweight when I got him. They were going to put him down because he was reactive. But I like a fighter. And so I took him on, and he's done great. I got 2 young kids at home, and he's wonderful.
You know, the big thing as a veteran, myself, and these guys can probably attest to this at the same time, is when you come home, there's not a phone book or a directory or a person that tells you all the resources that you have available. So my story is I went into the reserves, I was supposed to go into the Air Force, or I was going to go into the Air Force, and when they didn't have my job, I banged on the door across the hallway to the Marine Infantry office, and I said, I want to join, I want to leave within the month. Done and done. But when I came home, I didn't know what the resources were. I still don't know what all the resources are. I'm meeting these people here for the very first time. I've been out since 2011. So knowing the resources and having these gatherings where these veterans can learn the resources that we have to offer is very important. Because I'll tell you one thing, if I had these resources when I first came home, I promise you my life probably would have been a little different, a little bit easier with the support.
Basically, we partner humans with horses to promote their well-being. We run a veteran program once or twice a year if we can find the funding for it, completely free of charge through the Department of Veterans Affairs. What we find, which I'm echoing a lot of you guys, is when the guys come home, they don't have help. They have no idea how to regulate emotions. They have no idea where to even knock on a door. When we started our program, we actually had to go knocking on doors to find a program to work with us, to find veterans. And it's messed up. So what we try to do is we go out to these outreaches, we start knocking on doors, and we promote the human and animal connection. Dogs are amazing, but there's a different connection when you're working with a prey animal. We're predators, we're the threat. So dogs want to please you, horses, you got to work for it. And it makes a huge difference. It starts clicking off all those light bulbs. You talk about needing a job, needing the training. Nothing works with a horse unless you put in the work.
We found that one of the biggest things that we ran into was the food insecurity, because we found that veterans would worry about shelter first, insurance second, transportation, utilities third, medicine fourth, food fifth. And we took that food insecurity program and we built, instead of a food pantry, we built what we called empowerment centers, because the chief was right tonight. Veterans don't want help. For 8 weeks, we beat the shit out of everybody in boot camp. We have to be tougher than the group before us. We have to put people through more. We do more hazing. We beat up more people, and we get tougher and tougher to the point where you carry out your mission. And you don't ask for help. You figure out how to get it done on your own. And that's what the veterans' mentality has been. And by getting to their stomach through our food insecurity program, we've been able to open up other programs such as clothing assistance, job training. We've worked on home assistance, home renovations. We've been able to develop a homeless veteran program where we've taken people from the military who are retired and used them as peer-to-peer mentors, and done some fantastic work across the state.
I am not a veteran. I'm the son and grandson of one, and the father of one that never made it home. And my way is to serve, is to give back. And just like Joe kind of mentioned his dad's story, and that folded flag, you know, you don't ever want to receive that folded flag. And so I've given a folded flag to the mother of Sean Gannon, who was murdered, my police officer, and I've received a folded flag. And surviving the folded flag takes a community. It takes you guys and ladies and these animals. I just wanted you to know that. You should be proud of your service. It's ongoing. And we are family.